Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hey everybody, Charles here. How you guys doing? Uh, 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 Sorry, you know something? I'm not getting enough sleep. Are you getting enough sleep? Is your body running on the great value that it can? How much energy are you putting into? Are you staying up? Are you overdoing it? Are you burning the candles at both ends? Listen, sleep can energize you and do a lot of great things. It could take you to the next level. And I got a gentleman here now. We're going to unlock your potential and see how we can do it. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my special guest.
Thank you so much, Charles. Glad to be on.
Hey, buddy, how you doing?
Doing very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Look, with everybody, sending their kids to school, they had to wake up this morning, energize themselves. We're going to dive into how to unlock your great potential with sleep. Because I don't know about you, but this morning I'm like, oh, covers, pillow, I want it all.
Yeah, definitely here. Well, I'm psyched to dive in.
All right. But before we get to that, give us some background on yourself. Born and raised, where are you from?
Yeah, so I was born and raised in Canada, originally from Vancouver, Canada. Because of my dad's job, I kind of moved all over the place in Canada. Grew up most of my life in Ottawa, Canada. And yeah, went to school for finance. And to kind of go into my background story, how this whole sleep consultant all started. I started in the finance industry and investment banking, private equity. But I was forced to quit my job because I was just making clumsy mistakes. I was becoming tired, becoming lethargic. And I didn't know what was going on with me. And it was at that point, went to go see doctors, a couple dozen specialists later, was diagnosed with Crohn's disease. And it was good, it was nice to know that I had that diagnosis. But I was just fatigued all the time, and side effects of medication they were giving me were actually making me feel worse. So I had to take health into my own hands, kind of fell into a dark, deep depression, my back against the wall, collecting debt. And then I started, reading hours upon hours a day. How does the body actually work on a first principles basis? So like our hormones, our neurotransmitters, our brain, our gut, our body's ability to make energy, all these different things happening, these different systems. And it was at that point I was able to recover myself. And then, I made a name for myself locally, helping other people, friends of friends, their friends of friends. And then it just kind of expanded internationally, and not through the disease state, but more so through better energy, focus, better relationships with friends, loved ones, becoming a more effective leader in the workplace. So I work with a lot of, entrepreneurs, CEOs primarily, but we all need better sleep. So it's the same approach for most people.
All right. Now, people are going to be like, oh, he can talk about that all he wants. I'm a mom with 3 kids. I got a job. I got this. I got that. We always can make any excuse we want. But at the end of the day, I always tell my kids, your body's like a car engine. Okay. If you don't give it enough gas, it won't run. You don't give it enough sleep and energy, it won't run. So let's get down to the nitty gritty. How do we tell our bodies and our mindset, it's time to lock off the TV, or, the work will last tomorrow, go and get some sleep?
Yeah, it's tough, right? Because, we're watching our favorite TV show or to wind down before bedtime, we just don't feel tired yet. And so, we have to wake up at 6 a.m., 11 p.m. rolls around. It's like, well, I think I'll watch that one more TV show and then it'll make us feel sleepy. So here's a couple different things we can do. And, we have to baby step in. I can throw everything at somebody and tell them to do this thing, that thing, and the other thing, but they're just going to fall off. And so the secret sauce is to make it in a baby step way that's relevant to their life. So it really just depends on a case by case basis. But if it's a stay at home mom, their obligations with kids and everything else, you really want to do it so you can stack different habits. So let's say you tuck the kids in for bed. After that, then you can start winding down with something that I call active recovery instead of passive recovery. And so passive recovery might be like drinking a glass of wine and watching Netflix. That can recover your body and relax it to a certain extent, but you can, in that same time period, you can actually relax your body more and get it more into a sleepy state. If you do like an Epsom salt bath, you could do meditation, you can do like a hot cold shower, you could do journaling, or you go for a walk outside, yoga. Some of these things can really help with that. Other side things, there's dozens upon dozens. I just want to hit on the highest, heaviest hitting right here is blue light is one of the biggest things that keeps us awake at night. Blue light is something that directly impacts our melatonin, which is our sleep hormone, master sleep hormone. And when blue light enters our eyes, it's going to reduce our melatonin, kind of give us this second wind. So when our body should naturally feel tired, we're going to feel more awake. And then when we get to sleep, it's going to cause us to wake up in the middle of the night, not get sufficient REM sleep, and then need copious amounts of coffee when we wake up just to get through the day.
So hold on. blue light, but TV and computers give off blue light.
Yes. So what you do with that is a couple different things. So on your iPhone, for example, your Android device, you
Hmm.
can turn on the red light filter, or you can download one. One's called Twilight. That's a good application, but built into your phone. So that's one thing you can do. But an easier one is to just invest in blue light blocking glasses. Now you can find these on Amazon. Just type in blue light blocking glasses. You can find them there. One of my favorite brands is called Twilight. They're called True Dark, actually. You can just Google True Dark, and they have a whole list of glasses on there. And you just pop those on before bedtime. Yeah, there you go.
There
And
you go.
once you pop those on an hour or two before bedtime, you can really stop that blue light coming into your eyes. And you'll actually start to feel your body getting tired 1 or 2 hours before bedtime. And you'll wonder, why am I feeling sleepy so early? But that's actually your body's natural state to feel sleepy. So then you'll get a more deep, restful sleep and just wake up with more energy the next day.
That's interesting you're saying that, because I know a lot of people, they said, I'm going up to bed, I'm just going to read a good book and fall
Yeah.
asleep. But they're
Yeah.
reading their book on a tablet, their
Yeah.
cell phone. So they're reading a good book, but that blue light is just keeping them awake. So they're
Totally.
not falling asleep. That is so interesting. And I didn't even know that these glasses, I just got them, because we're down here all the time in front of like 4 or 5 different screens. But now that you mention it, I do feel a little tired after I put these suckers on. I'm wondering, why am I so tired all of a sudden?
Bingo. You
There
got
you
it.
go. That makes sense. Okay. So now tell us the benefits. Like, we talk about the sleeping. How much hours a day should we really get some sleep? Someone says, 10, 8. What's the max number of sleeping?
Yeah, usually we want to aim between 7 and 9 hours of sleep. That's sort of the sweet spot. Anything more than 9 hours, we'll always have those outliers. Like there's people that we know that only sleep 2 to 3 hours a night, and they're totally fine. And maybe they don't drink coffee, and we don't know how they do it. So some people have those genes, but for most of us, 95% of us, we have to sleep 7 to 9 hours each night. And so, but it's more the sleep quality opposed to the sleep quantity. And so one thing you want to keep in mind is we sleep in 90-minute sleep cycles. So 90 minutes, 3 hours, 4.5, 6 hours, 7.5 hours, 9 hours. And so that time we want to fall asleep within a 90-minute sleep cycle, we're getting light sleep, deep sleep, non-REM sleep, and REM sleep. And we want to get as many of these cycles as we can while we're sleeping. But if we wake up in the middle of the night, it interrupts those sleep cycles. And that's why we can feel groggy the next morning, feel like a walking zombie, stuff like that. So, aiming between that mark is really a good way to do it. And by minimizing blue light and other things that we can talk about, you can improve getting more of those. So REM sleep and deep sleep are the most important, and wake up feeling better.
All right. Listen, on that word, let's have some fun. Here we go. It's time for rapid fire. We're just going to do some rapid fire. We're going to throw some questions at you. You got 2 minutes on the clock, and then you just have to answer whatever comes to your mind. Now you can extend your answers, but do remember, you just got 2 minutes on the clock. You're going to see the 2 minutes in the corner, and we're just going to wrap them off. But how it works is you get to ask your own questions. What do you want? A, B, C, or D?
Let's go with C.
Let's go with C. All right. 2 minutes on the clock, starting now. There it is. What is success to you?
Success to me is being able to help and transform people's health as much as I can.
All right. Sunset or sunrise?
Sunrise.
What's your favorite color?
Blue.
Chocolate or vanilla?
Chocolate.
What is your favorite food?
Favorite food is salmon on the barbecue.
Oh, there you go. Ooh, got me hungry. Favorite dessert?
Favorite dessert is zebra dessert.
What's the one thing you notice about somebody when you first meet them?
Their eye contact.
What is best advice you've ever gotten?
To focus on the inside first and then the external second. Deeper meaning, but surface level, that's what it is.
There you go. What is the best compliment you've ever gotten?
Best compliment was I'm easy to talk to and be around.
There you go. Favorite TV show?
Favorite TV show, Californication.
Describe yourself in 5 words.
Ambitious, kind, caring, curious, and motivated.
There you go. What is your nickname your parents used to call you?
Jack. It's my middle name, actually, and it was my grandpa's name, but everyone calls me that.
All right. What is your favorite childhood memory?
Favorite childhood memory is going to the theme park, Wonderland, actually, in Toronto. Lots of fun memories there.
All right. And last one, you got 30 seconds. Where are you happiest the most?
I am happiest the most on the ocean in the West Coast in Vancouver when it's in the summertime, along English Bay, going in Stanley Park, going in all the trees, doing a lot of hiking, just really anything in the outdoors.
There you go, my friend. You made it with 13 seconds left.
Boom.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we're going to dive into his website and find out what benefits does sleep really have on our bodies and how we can get that to the next level. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. CMJ Entertainment is a one-stop shop. CMJ Entertainment helps people do any type of events, and it's a marketing tool as well. So we'll cover everything from start to finish. If it's a wedding, we'll make sure your wedding is over the top. And if it's an event, we make sure that everybody gets information at the end of the day. Give us a call at 416-414-8964 or online, go to cmjent.com. Yeah. Yes, we're back live and we're talking about sleep and how the benefits of sleep can get you the next level into your business. Because a lot of us, we grind, we want to get to that next level. But actually, are we actually hurting ourselves by not getting enough sleep? Are we overdoing it? So tell us, what can we do and how is it beneficial for us when we get in that extra sleep?
Yeah, sleep is so important. It's one thing we know, we know a lot about diet, we know a lot about exercise, but sleep is something that we all are getting anyway. And if we can improve our sleep just by a few customized tweaks, we can feel so much better in terms of our energy levels, our focus, our ability to just think better. We can sometimes get like an 8-hour workday down into a short period of time. Then we have more time for ourselves, our loved ones, things that we want to do. And so how we actually do that is understanding just the basics of sleep. That's really important to know before we dive into what we actually do about it. So when we sleep, let's say over an 8-hour period, we go to bed at 10 p.m. and we wake up at 6 a.m. seems to be the average for most people. In the first half of our sleep, we're getting more deep sleep. And this is where it's restoring more of our physical body. In the second half of sleep, we're getting more REM sleep. And this is where it's restoring more of our mind. It's kind of like defragging, like a computer defragging our brain, consolidating memories, making sense of the world. There's these garbage truck cleaners called our lymphatic system that kind of come in and clean all that stuff up. And what that means is when we wake up, we get as much energy and focus and things like that the next day as much as possible. But the issue is sure, let's say we can go to sleep okay. That's the case with most people because they're so exhausted. But we wake up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom. We're just thinking of obligations we have to do the next day, the thinking. We all get stuck in this trap and we can't get back to sleep. And that's actually directly cutting into that REM sleep. So now when we wake up, our mind is not fully restored. And for some people, maybe it's, you becoming short of people, yelling at people, not being the best person to be around, and just not performing at your 10 out of 10 peak potential.
All right. So my problem is if someone wakes me up, as soon as I open my eyes, that's it. My brain starts thinking. Too much things are going to my brain. Oh, I got to do this. I should get up and do this. And it's hard for me to fall back asleep unless I'm really knocked out tired. Because now I can't stop thinking about the stuff I want to do today to be successful. How do you just shut that off?
It's tough, right? So you can take a short-term approach and you can take a long-term approach. Long-term approach, it's focusing on diet, lifestyle, exercise, supplements, all these things to lower your body's inflammation, your blood sugar levels, your stimulatory hormones, cortisol, adrenaline, stuff like that. But just short-term quick fixes that we can use. Let's say if we wake up in the middle of the night, usually I like to look at supplements. And so obviously talk to your doctor with any of these stuff because they can have side effects. But things like, for example, like melatonin between 0.2 and 3 milligrams, not too much, that can help us fall asleep. Things like L-theanine, that's naturally in green tea. And these are all natural things. One called GABA you can supplement with. Some of these are chewables, some of them are sprays. These are things that get quickly into your body and they can make you feel more relaxed at the same time. But just more practical things you can do as well is you want to do things where your mind is not thinking when we wake up in the night, and then we will just get naturally tired. So, listening to an audiobook, ideally without screens, listening to an audiobook, just hearing something in the background that can just distract us from our own mind to what we have to do the next day. That seems to be a really good sweet spot for a lot of people.
Yeah, that's me. I put on a good macro and I'm knocked out. There we go. All right, so let's talk about your website and how you can help. But there's one thing I want to dive into because I think it's very important. This one right here. This one is a big one.
Yeah.
To me, stop being so stressed out. I feel like when you can tell when people didn't get enough sleep or they're overdoing it, they get snappy, they get irritable. They're just rah, 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 rah. We're like, okay, what happened? Not getting enough sleep. Let's talk about the stress.
Absolutely. Stress is such a big one. If we're stressed, we're not going to sleep well. And if we don't sleep well, we're going to be very stressed. And for most people, short term, they know how that looks like in their own lives, whether they're short with somebody, whether they're, just they can't think properly. They can't think straight because they just have so much happening in their mind. The RAM in their mind's, 90% out of 100, kind of like when you hit the Control-Delete on your computer and you see all that's being taken up. It's kind of like that for your mind for a lot of people. And so, there's a lot of things you can do about that. When you do sleep better, stress will be improved, your body's resilience will be improved. But as you start to make your stress bucket bigger and you can handle more things, those same stressful situations, instead of being like an 8 out of 10, will now be a 2 out of 10. And so that's kind of the goal, which you want to work on with some of this stuff. And how you do that is working on everything I mentioned: lifestyle, stress, stress management, exercise, and building up all these different systems and reserves in your body. So now they can come back up online and now your body just works better as an entire whole.
And how does stress deal with eating habits and your sleep?
Yes.
I see people, they eat just before bed. Like they eat before bed. They got the munchies. Like, oh, let's go eat, cookies and milk and drink milk before I go to sleep. How does that help us out?
Totally. Yeah. So, it's a big thing for a lot of us. We feel hungry before we go to bed, or maybe we wake up for a midnight snack. But what that's going to cause is whatever the food we eat, it's going to cause a blood sugar spike, and a blood sugar is going to go higher than it's usually used to. And it's going to cause it to crash. And then it's going to start releasing cortisol and adrenaline, which is actually going to wake us up because it's very stimulatory. And so what we can do about that, there's a few things, the things that I mentioned before, but, drinking a lot of water throughout the day. But when we're stressed, we're going to eat more, or if we're not sleeping as well, we're going to eat more, because the two hormones that control our hunger is called leptin and ghrelin. And ghrelin, you can kind of think of like it's the signal telling your body that it's hungry. And I kind of like to think of it as like ghrelin, like your stomach is grumbling. And so when you have that, it's going to cause you to send a signal to your brain saying, I need to eat now. And unfortunately for most of us, it's going to be sugary foods, which, it's going to make us gain weight. It's going to cause us more brain fog and stuff. So
one donut is not going to hurt us before bed. Like, there's just chocolate in there. Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll put my hand up. I'm sometimes guilty for that. You're half asleep and you're tired. You're like, I'll just eat that donut.
Oh, totally. Yeah, man. Me too. It happens to the best of us.
So tell us, how do you help us? What can you do to help your clients? Somebody's looking at this show right now and they're like, oh, that's me. Oh, that is me. Well, oh, that's me there too. Oh, yeah, I'm eating 2 donuts right now. Like, tell us how you can help us.
Yeah. So what I do, very simple, is I work one-on-one with clients virtually anywhere around the world. And what I do is I send them lab test kits directly to their house. And so I send them 5 lab test kits, and we look at about 800 biomarkers. We look at all their genetics, we look at their hormones, we look at their brain neurotransmitters, all these things inside of the body, to kind of like a car. We look under the hood of their biology to see where are the weak links and what does their body actually need, like what's happening inside of here. And so they get shipped these lab test kits via FedEx. They take a stool, urine, saliva sample. They call FedEx. They'll pick it up the same day. Then it gets shipped to the lab. And then I'll get the results electronically within a couple of weeks. And then from there, we really just see, what their body actually needs. And then we use holistic protocols that's customized and tailored to them. And then typically within 8 weeks is sort of the sweet spot. They start getting better very quickly. In the first week, they're making results, but we're really looking for lifetime, permanent changes and results here. And that's the ultimate goal.
Nice. All right. So if you need to get in contact, please do so. Go to their website. There's the contact form right there. I will put it up on the screen. Or you can go to the website that I'm looking at right now and fill it in. And like you said, online with the new technology, I don't care where you are around the world, wherever you're watching, time zones are different. You might be one of those CEOs or business people that are traveling on the plane all the time, and you're crossing through time zones, and that's very difficult for you. to get your sleep properly, because you're 1 minute, you're 4 hours ahead, then you're 1 hour ahead, and you're going back and forth. You're always traveling. I think this is the best person for you and to get the information for you. And just little notes right here. You can go on his website and just read his blogs, get some information, wonder why your throat's hurting, or you're not sleeping, or why you snore a lot. Someone always tell you sound like you're a train. Well, there might be a reason why. Get to know some about that. But if you don't want to call him, if you don't want to go to his website, grab his book. Let's talk about the book right now. Tell us a little bit about the book.
Yeah, the book is a really cool one to just, it's probably about 100 pages long. It's just bite-sized. They can jump right in. It'll just tell you exactly the reasons on a basic level why you're struggling with your sleep and what you can do about it with just practical tips and advice and all that stuff. And then on the top of the website there, on the top right, you can just book a 10-minute free sleep consultation call with me. It's directly with me, and we can go over your sleep environment, morning, evening routine. Really just happy to help people in whatever way that I can.
All right, book it here. It's real simple. You're up anyways. Instead of watching the computer, go right here, just book a consultation. We know you're up. You're watching this from different time zone right now. You're up and you're watching me. Book in right now. There you go. Make it easy on yourself. All right, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. It's time to get interesting and to have some more fun. It's now time for Pick 3. It's now time for Pick 3. So before we let you go, my friend, you're going to pick your last 3 questions that you're going to ask yourself. These 3 questions you just picked. The questions are from 1 to 13, and those are the questions you ask yourself.
Sounds good. Number 3.
3, which one? 2 more.
3, 5, and 9.
3, 5, and 9. All right, question number 3. What advice would you give someone pursuing a similar career to yours?
Advice I would give someone pursuing a similar career to mine is getting a mentor right away. As much as I am a health coach and learned about sleep, I am an entrepreneur, and I made so many mistakes along my journey. And I wish I invested in somebody instead of making all the mistakes myself and slamming my head against the wall more times than I can count. So that is for sure the first one.
All right. Well, at least when you slammed your head, you got some good sleep that time, right?
That's right. Yeah.
All right. Here we go. Number 5. What have you read or listened to recently that's inspired you?
I recently re-listened to the Matthew Walker Joe Rogan podcast. Matthew Walker is a sleep expert. He's kind of brought sleep to the forefront, but he's got this childlike wonder of how he explains it. I recommend anybody go check that one out. Joe Rogan, Matthew Walker.
There you go. There you go. Make sure you write that down. All right. And then number 9, where can we listen to you and find you?
You can go to thesleepconsultant.com, and my podcast is directly on there. And then I'm also on Spotify, Stitcher, and all the other Apple, iTunes, and all the other major platforms you can listen to me as well. On there, I have, experts and guests who are sleep, helping with your sleep, your energy, your focus, really looking to have cutting edge people on as well to really help you within your performance for free. And they're bite-sized too, they're only about 15, 20 minutes. So on your way to work, on your way to the gym, you can really listen to all this. And then soon I'm going to start, sort of like I've shared information today. It's just going to be me where I'm sharing information to help you sleep better, stay asleep longer, have more energy throughout the day, just giving you as much value as I can.
Well, here's an opportunity for you guys. Go to his podcast, put it on, and remember, just listen. It's 15 minutes and fall asleep. What more? There you go. He's helping you. He's helping you in 5 different ways right there. So tell them one more time where they can catch your podcast and what days.
Yeah, you can go to thesleepconsultant.com, and all publications are released each Thursday. And that soon it will be twice a week, so Mondays and Thursdays as well.
All right. And where can they find the book?
They can go to thesleepconsultant.com, and you can go to the blog section for the book, really any page, and you'll just see the book on the right side.
There you go. There you go. All right, my friend. Listen, it's been a pleasure and an honor to talk to you, but I got to ask my last question. Mm-hmm. What are key tips? Give me 3 tips that really, before I go to bed, or what can I do hours before I go to bed just to knock me out?
Good. Yeah, really good one. So first one, blue light blocking glasses. That's one of the most important. Number
Mhm.
two, make your bedroom as dark as possible. Blackout curtains, cover any like lights from like cable box to your TV with tape, that kind of thing. Ideally, so you can't see your hand in front of you, but be realistic at the same time. Number
Okay.
three is make your bedroom as cool as possible. So Celsius, about 18 degrees Celsius is a sweet spot. I mean, that's cold, but that's ideal. And then, Fahrenheit, that's about 65, 68 Fahrenheit.
Interesting. Like that new last part there. So making it cool, what does that do for you?
Well, in a 24-hour period, our bodies are at its coolest internal temperature, probably around 2, 3 a.m. So we want an external temperature that's conducive to that. And what's kind of interesting, another little side tip, if we have an Epsom salt bath or a hot bath before we go to sleep, you would think, well, would that make our body temperature like hotter, make us, sleep worse? But actually, when we get out of that bath, our body temperature will slingshot the other direction and actually become cool and actually improve the quality of your sleep and the ability to get to sleep faster. So just a little side note. You can also wear socks too. That's another side one. But yeah, I'll say that for another time.
We'll say that for our part 2 of this
Part
episode.
two. Yeah.
What about the socks? Next week, when he comes back, all about the socks. All right, my friend. Everybody, like I always say, you didn't have to watch, but I'm so glad that you did. Thanks for tuning in. And listen, you are the machine. You drive your company and your business, but without you, it just can't work. Get some rest, get some sleep. If you need help, he's right there for you. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Has come to an end, but the fun doesn't have to stop here. If you have any questions, suggestions, or feedback, head over right now to Twitter and Facebook and like, share, and get involved. Join us next time.
Please be advised that this podcast is meant for educational and informational purposes only and is in no way a replacement for legal or medical advice. The opinions contained within are solely those of the interviewers and interviewees and should be received as so. Those seeking help or advice